Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Um, Breaking news. They found remains in a Florida park, and they are the remains of Brian Laundrie. The FBI has confirmed it. The remains recovered on October 20th, so yesterday. That's quick, ain't it? In a Florida park are those of Brian Laundrie, the FBI announced on Thursday. The FBI said dental record analysis confirmed the identification. Laundrie, the sole person of interest in the death of his fiancee, Gabby Petito, was reported missing on September 17th. Now, listen, y'all. Come on now. Do you believe this? I'm a skeptic myself. They did DNA analysis or whatever it is that they did to identify the remains awfully quickly. And this was human remains found in a Florida nature preserve. Okay, they didn't say anything about autopsy results. They didn't say anything about did it look like the body had, was there any foul play? They were awfully vague. They were awfully vague, honey. So here's Wink News. Wink News is saying uh, the statement from Stephen Bertolino. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the remains found yesterday in the reserve are indeed Brian's. We have no further comment at this time, and we ask that you respect their privacy. The FBI Denver office has also confirmed via Twitter the remains belong to Laundrie. They compared the remains to Laundrie's dental records. I'm gonna need y'all to fingerprint. That's what I need you to do, because I don't believe this here at all. I believe that this boy is not even in America, and who knows whose body they done found out there. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm. It says they did a comparison of dental records with the corpse and with this Brian Laundrie person. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Do it sound like I'm like doubting Thomas? And unless I stick my fingers in his side, and I don't know. Mm-mm. I don't believe it. They bringing this here to a close super quick. That it's like they already had dental records, right? So if they didn't even know when they were going to find the body, and they just found the body yesterday, how were they able to get dental records in 24 hours? Right? Wouldn't it take at least 72 hours? Something is weird about this and about this. Okay, so shortly before the announcement was made, two law enforcement officers visited the laundry home in Northport. They were inside for less than 2 minutes and then left. You see what I'm saying? This is a recurring, it's awfully quick. After being 30 days of looking for him and all of that, boom, we found the body. Boom, we identified it as him. Boom, we make an appearance at the laundry's house and out. They closing this out quick, which makes me wonder what is about to happen, y'all, that they need the news focused on. There's going to be some kind of huge event, I think. Okay, let's finish reading this. It says they were inside for less than 2 minutes and then left. Laundrie has been a person of interest in the homicide of his fiancee. Blah 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 blah. The coroner said that she was strangled. Laundrie was wanted for misusing Petito's bank card. Oh Lord have mercy, it could be me. Oh, let's see what she say. Okay, I don't care what she talking about. Listen, the Petito family, they are very, let me just say, they are very civilized. I'm gonna say it like that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Uh, The Petito family attorney, Richard Stafford, said they are not granting interviews or making statements at this time. The Petito family is quiet. Who got paid? Huh? Sound like to me some deals was done. And that boy is in Cozumel or he's in Colombia. Yeah? They gave him an environmental job down in the Amazon in South America. 30 days. You can go anywhere on the planet in 30 days with a flight and a rental car. And let me get this story straight. He gets into an argument with Gabby, slaps her around. Police find them. The police put him in a hotel and make her sleep in the van. She hooks back up with him after that. She didn't just leave in her van. First of all, you put your shit hooks on me, on my face. And the police come and you lie to the police and I gotta sleep in the van. I ain't sleeping in the van, partner. I'm out. I would have had all night long, baby, to drive back to New York where my family is at. And he would have been like, fine me. There ain't no way that I would have picked his behind up after that. Nope. Nope. Which tells me this girl was used to being disrespected, honey. And it probably has happened before. That wasn't the first time. Do you hear me? That wasn't the first time that he put his hands on her. Okay? So they have a protocol that they follow when this here happens. He broke the protocol because this is what I remember. And y'all can tell me if I'm remembering this whole situation wrong. But another group of people was driving by, and that was the van, right? It's on the side of the road. You can't see nobody outside of it or anything, right? Then he hitchhiked somewhere. Well, why would he need to hitchhike if he drove her van back to Florida? But we saw them tow away a Mustang, not Gabby's van. I don't know where Gabby's van is at. As far as I knew, it was still in Wyoming. So I was like, did the boy hitchhike all the way back to Florida? What's up? So he was going to hitchhike. Then he decided to go back to the scene of the crime and take her van and all her bank card information and stuff like that. And then he gets back to Florida. Come on now, make it make sense. Make it make sense. He gets back to Florida without his fiance, and his mammy and his pappy say, let's go hiking. Let's go camping. And he rolls out in his vehicle, which was the Mustang. They roll out in their vehicle. So, like, why wouldn't they all just get in the Mustang or get into the Range Rover or whatever the other vehicle was? Okay. No, they didn't. They went out in separate cars. He went out in his Mustang. They went out in their vehicle. They had to left him out there, right? Because if they were camping out there with him, why didn't he come back home with them? Or was that just a ruse from the very beginning? The mammy drove one vehicle, the pappy drove another vehicle, and then staged it out there. Then called the popo 2 days later, be like, hey, yo, what it do? Yeah, Broham been gone for 2 days, yo. We don't know where he at, yo. He went camping in the Everglades. Yes, while his fiance is missing in Wyoming. Yeah, yeah, true facts, true facts. Believe me, okay? Would I lie to you? Would I lie to you? Would I lie to you, honey? And the police said, show you right. and they bought that. Nobody's stationed outside of the house. Um, this boy is not under surveillance at all. Uh, there's no GPS in the vehicle whatsoever. A few days later, they load up the Mustang, and not in one of those "I'ma damage your car" type of trucks, but the high end, expensive tow truck that's got the flatbed on there. And they take the Mustang and they out. And they never tell us what happened. Did you swab it? Did you use a litmus test on it to see if you could find anything? Huh? Nothing. We ain't heard jack about it. Am I wrong? I don't remember hearing nothing about it. They just took the car, right? Has it been sold in police auction? What's going on? They ain't said nothing. Gabby, they found her body, had her funeral. No word about this laundry person. The family being surveilled, did they tap their lines? To put GPS on their vehicles to see if they was meeting up with Brian to bring him, some Pop Tarts and Gatorade? Anything? No, nothing. Is that FBI protocol? Is something else going on? Oh no, I guess what it is actually the person that's Brian Laundrie actually wasn't Brian Laundrie. It's a doppelganger. Yeah, over there in Wyoming, they had several people come up missing out there. They just only mentioned Gabby Petito. But actually, it's over a dozen people came up missing. And there was a couple that came out and they said it was a UFO situation. See, that's what had happened. So the thing that got into the vehicle with them other people, that wasn't Brian Laundrie at all. That was a doppelganger, a skinwalker, a reptilian, Anunnaki. See, neither Brian nor Gabby were ever found. Those remains and at the funeral and all, that wasn't Gabby. That was all fake. Y'all, listen, that is more believable than what it is that they reporting because it don't make no sense. You can believe a fantasy before you can believe what they reporting. And I'm gonna tell you something. As a person who has had a son murdered and a little brother murdered, my brother Leonard, we had different. We was related. I'm gonna just say it like that. He wasn't really my little brother. He was really my nephew. Leonard. He was killed in Houston. He was at a club and he had been dating this older woman, and the older woman's son didn't like the fact that his mama was with this little boy, and they was at the club and the son shot my nephew, and my nephew ran, and basically HPD just let him bleed out and he died. um oh, it was, oh, just the thought of it, just um So it wasn't like he went missing or anything like that. And the same way with my son, when he was murdered, it wasn't like he had went missing or anything. But at the time that he was killed, we weren't talking. We weren't talking. That's what the foundation is for him. Joseph Dwayne Albert Foundation. But so I'm just saying, I got a little bit of perspective on this. Every time that they reported different things, like in the newspaper when my nephew was killed, it was a bald-faced lie that they wrote in the newspaper for the public. It wasn't the facts. It wasn't the truth at all. Okay, the true situation was not reported in the papers nor on the news or anything like that. And in the same way with my son Joseph. everything surrounding his death and everything like that, they did not report it. And I'll give you this. See, like this on winknews.com for Brian Laundrie, child, it ain't even a good paragraph. It's very vague. And that's how you know they are giving you one narrative. Um, but what's really going on, not really even the family knows. You know, there's information even when you do a Freedom of Information Act. So let's say we do a Freedom of Information Act to find out what really is happening. It's so heavily redacted until you can't make sense of what it is anyway. You can't make no sense of what it is anyway. That's the world that we live in. The only difference between communist China and us is communist China just say, we ain't let you know nothing. they just they just tell you straight out. But here in America, they say, "Oh yeah, it's a land of the free. Oh yeah, we'll make a Freedom of Information Act. Sure, you betcha." It's not true. A lot of this stuff is just staged. A lot of this stuff is just, and I understand why. Okay, I understand why, because the general public is this huge thing, and different information will make different people react in different ways, and the information that you put out there will make people go run amok, and you don't really want that. You don't really want that. Like for all of the people that say they want us all to die, they trying to kill us all. Honey, that would be easy to do. That would be easy to do. All it takes is a couple of sentences, and people lose their mind and will self destruct, will burn down their own house, kill their own kids, kill their own family. Yes, honey, that's the way humans are. They're just very volatile. Their whole thing that they run on is their feelings and their emotions. And they do some crazy things from murder to, I'm not going to say it, but I had a chance to see a lot of incident reports. You would be surprised at the amount of foolala that goes on among Americans. It's something about, I'm going to just say it like this and I'm going to wrap it up because I done been too long. Listen, the way that the settlers came here to this country, to this land, and they killed all these people and they burned out a whole bunch of stuff and they murdered so many bison, and you don't think that that stuff don't have no repercussions, because it does. A lot of things that was done here, the raping and the scalping and the cutting the babies up out of their mamas, and uh uh these people think that there is no, that they can have save the whale program and find the lost dog, and that's going to satisfy, that's going to make up for what it is that they have done. And the fact is that they're continually adding to it because it's a momentum. The momentum is going. The momentum is going. Whatever is done cannot be undone. What you do comes back to you. It is universal law. It is universal law. And this thing snowballed hundreds of years ago. It snowballed hundreds of years ago. And you have to remember, um, the America that we know had the bicentennial in 1976. But believe you me, this whole thing with the murdering and the burning and the killing and all of that negativity, let me tell you something. It is not a uh, what do you call it, a coincidence. You understand what I'm saying? Even as far as what has happened with this here boy, look at Gabby. Look at her. Remember how she was in distress. And she did not, something kept that girl from driving away because it would have been my heart and my soul. Let me tell you something, honey. Let me tell you something. When my kids were teenagers, it was plenty of time I had to pray to the Lord coming home from work that I wouldn't just stay on that freeway and keep driving, baby. Never look back. And that's my kids. Could you imagine if I had a husband, a boyfriend, a fiance that was putting his hands on me? Oh, baby. Soon as the popo came, I'm like, whatever y'all gonna do. Thank y'all for coming. You can take him. This is my ride. Y'all give him a ride wherever he needs to go because we are done so, baby. That's the last time you gonna put your hands on me. That would have been me. When you get the popo there, when you get really all buck, especially as a white woman. Oh, baby, I would have said, oh, yes, honey. But no. Let me tell you something, honey. We have seen people like that. And the old people would say they got death on them. They got death on them. When you see people making decisions like that, TikTok, baby, the time has run out for you. You about to be out of here. You about to be out of here. Because when you can't make a decision to save your own life, I'm going to say it again. These people came to a land that ain't theirs. They ran into people who was already here, and the people didn't kill them on sight. So what they decided to do was find out these people's business so they can steal from them and take advantage of them and then kill them. And it's your choice, but don't think that you don't have some repercussions behind that. You cannot think that, okay, I'm going to take all their stuff and I'm going to make it for my own and I'm going to enrich the continent that I came from that's got the plague and rats and smallpox and all of that. Seemed like to me, if you had been given a second chance, because that's what this was. You hear me? This was Providence giving you a second chance, boo boo. This was your second chance. I'm going to bring you out. I'm going to bring you out from London with the rats and the plague and the death and everywhere. You was in the debtor's prison and all of that. Remember, this is how they ran their own country down into the ground. You hear me? And they got a second chance to come on up out of there. And when they came up out of there, this is what they did. This was their second chance. This was an opportunity. And this is what they have done with their opportunity. And the nasty, disgusting place that they came from, them people was taxing them. They was taking money from, oh, what? Look, they doing good over there. So now we dogged them out here. Now we're going to dog them out over there. So they had what? The Revolutionary War, right? The red coats are coming. The red coats are coming. Yeah? So they defeat the red coats on this land and with help. And with help. And what did they turn around and do? Double down on the BS. They doubled down on it. So now, what do? Those of us who can, they latching on to the Hispanics, and I ain't in it. I'm not in it because it's some Hispanics I know, baby. They house, they mortgage, it's got a white 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 person's name on that mortgage. That big fine car they driving, it's in a white man's name. You know that lawn care business and all of that? They do the work, but the company is in the white man's name. You hear what I'm saying? They got an apartment that they living in, but you know who's on the lease? Whose credit and all of that is on the lease? A white man's, a white woman's, a white family. It's not theirs. It's not theirs. A lot of contracts that they get through the county and the city and the university and the port authority and the airport and all of that, they get the they get the contract, but 60% of that money is going to a white person. They're only using the bare minimum on that contract to fulfill the contract, and that's why everything is jacked up because it can't be done. It can't be done. Even the contract amount of money that any municipality pays to a contractor or anything like that, that's the bare minimum for getting this job done, honey. So then when you get the contract because you're a minority business, not black, Hispanic, African, Indian. 60% of the money from that contract is going to the white person who gave that contract to you, who had to sign off on it when they decided who could do the work, which was who gonna give me a kickback? Who gonna give me a kickback on this here contract? That's why everything is jacked up, y'all. That's why there's trash on the freeway, there's potholes, there's we have contractors who have been given these grants who are minority businesses, but they can't do it because they can't pay their people. Because 60% of that contract money is going right back to a white person who just bought him a new motorcycle and a yacht. And he don't care at all about the streets not being taken care of and all that and what's the what. And somebody's going to say, well, what is the problem with this here contractor? And we need to fire this person. And they'll do it. And the contractor don't care because he got 40% of the money and he didn't do any work at all. He didn't do any money. He Anyway, that's the whole reason why I just did, you know what? I'm a black woman. I'm gonna do a year prayer for the black woman in the United States of America, honey. I just gotta let go of that. I'm gonna give it to Jesus, and I'm gonna be through with it. If you look on my playlist, it's under praying, and you'll see the purple and white um, thumbnail for the prayers for the year prayer for the black woman in the United States of America, honey. And I'm gonna go 'cause it's been 30 minutes, and you know me, I could talk long and even louder, but I'm not. I'm gone. That's the breaking news. Brian Laundrie's uh, remains have been confirmed, have been ID'd. That's it. That's all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.